Well,
wanted
I also, because this conversation will go further, but I also want to discuss Sam Rivers, the bassist from Limp Bizkit, also passed away.
all
And
right, I'll
Shelly,
take
this is
this.
going to be a tough conversation because Jimmy and I had this off air
Yeah,
about a week
yeah,
ago, and
yeah,
it got a little hot. But Shelly, share your
yeah.
thoughts
It's
on
it.
Limp Bizkit.
It didn't get hot. You and I had two different shades of opinion on it because you actually like Limp Bizkit, and I said to you, in the late '90s, to me, Creed is basically the last of the whole thing that shifted with Cobain in the early '90s, and we went through where rock was kind of reborn and labeled as grunge. So after that, you get bands like Korn and Slipknot. They get more, there's something about the sound that becomes more mechanical to me. And it also felt the same to me with Limp Bizkit. I don't put them in the same organic vibe as Pearl Jam and Smashing Pumpkins or Green Day or any of these things that were happening from 91 to like 97. All right. Limp Bizkit appears and ruins Woodstock. Okay. I'm not a big,
Well,
I'm not a
Woodstock!
big, I'm
Woodstock!
I'm not a big fan of Fred Durst. I don't get it. However, I did make an exception, and we talked about this when I heard Chester. I was like, "Oh my God, he's great." Lincoln Park. I made an exception for the changing of the sound, the new metal, and the mixing rap sometimes, and I accepted it in Lincoln Park's case because Chester is organic.
Disturbed, Linkin Park,
Yeah, great
POD,
voice.
Limp Bizkit.
Limp
Okay,
Bizkit's
it was
yeah,
a
not for me.
transition of to I call it angry rock, which by the
Yes.
way is
Yeah.
incredible music.
It
I
is.
put
It's
Limp
not.
Bizkit very high on my list, but Shelly, let's
Right.
hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
I see both your points, both of them, and I relate to both of them. But like, dude, did you? But like, okay, so when what was Limp Bizkit's first single that came out? Their mainstream one.
Might have
Well,
been
what was it? Just one of those days or something like
no,
that?
it could have been Chocolate Starfish, right? I think maybe.
Chocolate starfish.
What
Seriously, I'm
was
not
it?
kidding.
But
They said.
what was their single that made them
Let me see.
see what their single is because
That's what
it's
I'm
on
gonna
that
do.
album. But anyways, I get what you're saying, Pharaoh.
Right.
But, like, you got people like Papa Roach and Disturbed. Here's the thing, me and
Right.
my friends back in the
Right.
day, we made up a rumor that Disturbed that his dad was Phil Collins. I swear to God, if you
Yeah.
put them both side by side,
That's funny.
dad, and then you listen to him and then
Yeah.
Phil Collins,
Yeah.
telling you, I think we're
Yikes.
onto something. So I enjoyed Stained. Oh, like,
Mm-hmm.
come on. Like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
vibe. And I feel it does kind of mesh the different, like, I feel like, okay, those dudes, they were influenced by all these people from like
That's
the
true.
90s, the 80s.
That's
So
true.
their
That's
music,
true.
and then music evolved and there was different genres that like really became more
It was.
mainstream.
It was a
So that's where you
logical.
get the rap because
It,
then all of a sudden rap becomes a little bit more mainstream back in the day. And so then you have these kids growing up and you're hearing it because I'm that person. I'm that person. I
right.
love hard rock. I love rap. I love jazz. I
Right.
love techno. I love classic rock. Like I love almost I love country. Like I love so many different musics, but like aside from the country, those other ones, they're all like in that era. If you're of a certain age group, you like that's the good stuff, the
Mm,
meat, the
Right.
good music. So
Mm-hmm.
you're when you got your band going and then you connect with other people that vibe on that level, you feel that throw you got the Kid Rocks. That Kid Rock, I love Kid Rock too. It's
Mm-hmm.
like let's not talk about politics, people. Don't come. Like the music, like it was at a different level because I feel you just had dudes of that era that were a certain age that were able to pull from so much good music that you just don't hear anymore. And Limp Bizkit, sorry, Pharaoh, I feel they fall into it. But I feel there was a time where it was too commercial and it fell off for me. But that album that has their first single, oh, Faith! Gotta have faith.
yes, 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 yes,
Yes,
yes.
that album, that album.
Ooh,
I
ooh, ooh,
remember
ooh.
little
Oh
Shelly
boy.
Martinez, whatever year that was. I was like, what?
Wait.
18, 19 years old,
Yeah.
driving my white Camaro T-top 6 speed, not a 5 speed. And I drove manual 6 speed, and I would have my T-tops down, and I had that album, and I thought all the songs were just going to be sounding kind of like Faith, which is still a good cover.
Right.
I didn't know. It's kind of like Sugar Ray, that album that I just want to fly. That's like the only song that sounds like that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only song that sounds like that
My
until they
God,
went commercial.
they played that like every 2 seconds on the radio. I wanted
But
to drive into a curb.
But if you listen to the rest of, just like Limp Bizkit, you listen to
Right.
the rest of
Yes.
their albums of that album that
Right.
made their single like to
Right.
where they went on the map.
Yeah.
Those albums sound like none of their other albums.
Right.
Yeah.
None
Right.
of their other albums.
Look, at the end of the day, it's really all about what your tastes are in music. My problem is that I was raised with classical music first as a small kid. I actually was playing concerts at colleges when I was like about 10 years old. I'm in a suit playing Brahms and Beethoven, stuff like that. Grew up on the Beatles, Led Zeppelin. When I look at this music translated to composition paper, all I'm saying is it's really your taste. And I was raised on that sort of thing. So, like, Bohemian Rhapsody, for example, on paper. And then you take Limp Bizkit and put it on paper. I'm sorry, game over. But that's me.
But
Just from
you
a
know what, dude?
composer.
But I would take Limp
You know.
Bizkit way over Queen any day.
Wow.
I'm being
Not
100% honest.
No
That's
way.
it.
Not me. I'm just saying, to each his own, I guess is what I'm saying.
Shelly,
Okay, so
can you?
if I had a
Go
ticket
ahead.
to go to Queen or to Limp Bizkit, who am I going
please.
to?
You're
Oh,
going to Limp
please.
Bizkit, Shelly. I know you
You're
are.
out of
Don't
here.
even
going to
lie.
Limp Bizkit.
You're going to Limp Bizkit. It's not
awful.
even close. It's not even a.
No,
It's
but
not
here's
even a
the thing.
fight.
Here's the thing.
Right now,
Much
like
like
Pharaoh. We're with you, Pharaoh. No.
much like Ozzy, okay? Whenever I've wanted to quit in whatever I'm trying to pursue, like literally I'm like, you know what? Maybe this just isn't for me. Queen does come on. Like how Ozzy haunts me.
Right.
And it's Dream On, the Dream On song, to where one time Aaron Stevens and I were in Walmart in Louisville, Kentucky at like past midnight. No one was there. And the music that was playing was Dream On, Aerosmith. And then I had told Aaron, well, before the song came on, I told Aaron, you know what? I'm just going to quit. I don't think they have anything for me. I'm just going to quit. Like, I'm going to go back to California. This was like, I was at OVW. They broke me, Aaron and Beth up. I was like, I just don't think wrestling's for me. I think this isn't my calling. And then what happened? Dream On came on. And I know that's not Queen. So
It's Aerosmith. It's Aerosmith. I wasn't going to cut you off.
That was the Queen. So there you go. I go to Limp Bizkit. It wasn't Queen at all.
Wow.
It wasn't Queen at all.
Wow.
Shelly, I got to ask you though, what was the first song you remember that got you into music?
I don't know, but can I say this so I can give Queen at least their props because I just fucked up because I'm on Zinfandel.
If you feel bad, you feel bad.
Yeah, I feel bad.
You're
You know
feeling
why?
bad for Queen right now.
I'm feeling bad for Queen because I remember I was a little girl and my dad had on KLOS that I still listen to this day. Shout out to KLOS, even though you've changed, whatever. And when you hear the "We Will Rock You" from Queen, transition to "We Are the Champions," I remember, like, when you said, "What's the first like thing?" Like, I'm not saying that's the first at all, but that's a moment that I do remember clicking with music. I was a little ass girl. I don't know what the hell's going on,
Right.
but I was listening. You got blood on your face, you big disgrace. What? And then it caught my attention. And I just remember being real quiet. And that's when I became like a lyric person, probably. Like,
Wait a minute, Shelly. I could have wrote that song. Come on. Blood on your face, big disgrace.
But it doesn't matter.
Kicking your can all over the place.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I felt it. I
The
felt it. And that's what
conviction.
music is.
It's the
It makes you
conviction of Freddie
feel.
Mercury's voice. It's the conviction of Freddie
It,
Mercury's voice.
yes, the way he feel. I didn't know that then, but when I
Yeah.
can look back now, being
Yeah.
who I am now, that's what it was. Because I remember being mesmerized. I remember just being like, wow, like that was a little girl. So hearing that someone blood on your face, you big disgrace, like that was like deep. Like, and
Mike,
it.
I don't get it, Mike. Why on earth, and I know that you appreciate the entertainment factor in everything that you love. Why
Right.
on earth would you decide that you don't want to see Freddie Mercury, who has a crowd, hundreds of thousands of people? Oh, and then everybody goes, oh, the guy's unbelievable. You got this performance, you got this singing, you got these classic songs, and you want to go see the guy who ruined Woodstock. What's wrong with you?
I'll explain it to you, Jimmy. It's really simple, right?
He ruined Woodstock,
Certain
but go ahead.
certain music when it comes on, you feel it not just in your soul, but like through your bones,
I
in your
agree.
muscles,
I
and you're
get it.
just like so.
I get
Limp
it.
Bizkit, Disturbed. I mean, Jimmy,
This
I'm
that guy's
telling you
voice.
what, a
Now
Disturbed
hold on.
song comes on, you want to rip a wall down and
Okay,
eat
but
people alive, right?
but the
Wow.
voice, the voice,
That's right.
the voice of the man in Disturbed is in the stratosphere of a Freddie Mercury for the type
Sure.
of music that man's voice is unbelievable. Do not tell me Freddie Durst's voice is unbelievable. But I will say this in defense of Limp Bizkit. I got to get this in. There are a couple of songs that make me want to break stuff. That's that's good. So there's that.
More importantly, Shelly, let me hear your disturbed lines.
Dude, first of all, when undisturbed, when can you feel that?
Yes, yes.
Here we
Oh
go.
shit. Oh my god, as a woman, I'm like,
I feel
oh
it.
yes, I
I
feel it.
feel it.
Yes, I feel it.
Yeah.
Disturbed, come here, baby. I
Disturb me,
feel
baby.
it.
Oh
Yes.
boy.
And then he goes, oh shit. Oh my god, I
Uh,
love it. He takes you in, and then when you watch him perform,
mm,
he's like, like it gets into it at the edge. And look, Freddie, he does too. But
right.
here's the thing, you know what the difference is? Okay, Freddie Mercury and little Freddie Durst. Okay, so Freddie Mercury, he is a great entertainer. He's an amazing singer, an amazing
Composer.
composer. Hello.
Yeah.
And amazing at performing.
Yeah. He's
Not
everything.
everyone could do all those three things.
He's everything.
And like he's everything. He's the package, right?
Hmm.
And I understand little Freddie Durst maybe that has a song like he doesn't sing and that
Right.
has that gift,
Right.
but because he doesn't, little Freddie Mercury,
Is a
he
master at
kind of has a little
he's a
snootiness to him about little Freddie Durst because oh,
well.
whereas you take Fred Durst, I feel he'd be like, man, you sing like the shit. You're awesome, man. Like, come on stage with me, man. Like, let's go. And like that
Right.
energy where that's what makes me lean more towards Limp Bizkit because the energy behind it. Maybe he can't sing like Freddie Mercury, but
Right.
Freddie Mercury would be like, oh, darling, you can't even kick a tune with me. Oh, and he would try to upshow him. Whereas Freddie Durst would be like, let's go on stage together and let's do it, man. Because Freddie Durst is already loves the little bitch that Freddie Mercury is, and he loves it. You go now how he does his tours as the dad tour or whatever. He loves that shit. He loves it. He doesn't take himself serious. Freddie Mercury took himself too serious. And that's what the difference is between the two with me. And that's why my energy would lean towards more of the Limp Bizkit because like I said, I would cry at a Queen concert. I'll tell you that. I'll cry. I'll be up there crying with him. He's he dances,
Right.
he sings, he's the soul of the band. He is the soul of the band. But so is Freddie Durst. Those guys are
Yeah.
nothing without him.
No,
And
that's true.
so,
That's true.
and maybe because of my age and what Limp Bizkit was for me and that time, it triggers to me
Sure.
that girl.
Right.
And so, and what I was going through and how Limp Bizkit to me allowed me to go,
Right.
fuck you. Fuck
Right.
you.
Right.
Whatever.
Well,
Come
Mike.
here then.
Well, you I understand, but Mike was not a little boy by the time Limp Bizkit came out. So it's like, okay, Mike, the guy who played me the Who for the first time, the first
So
time I heard Van
Jimmy,
Halen.
if you're gonna ask me
Traitor,
who
you're a
is the more
traitor, Mike.
hold
Go
on,
ahead.
if you're gonna ask me who the more talented band is or the
Stop it.
musicians
Just
are,
stop it.
it's
Yeah.
Queen. It's Queen,
Thank
of
you.
course. But if you're
Thank
gonna
you.
ask me who I want to listen to and be entertained by,
Okay.
it's Limp Bizkit all day.
Can I tie something bizarre in? Because we've talked about this in the past. Here's what I want to say positive about Durst. Freddie Durst's magic was his own capability to recognize I'm not Freddie Mercury. And we talked about my favorite vocalist of all time, Jim Morrison. You're not as big a fan on Jim, but I explained to you what Jim was able to do. He wasn't Robert Plant, just the same way Freddie is not Freddie Mercury. These guys had higher ranges, more horizons to explore with their voices. But like Morrison, he's nothing like him except for this one key fact. Freddie Durst was able to recognize what are my vocal capabilities, and if I stay in that box, can I come across as larger than life? And the answer was yes.
Very good. Well done.
You know how I feel the same way about, because I feel the same way about Morrison. And I have a group, there's a very small group of musicians' voice that's just, I have to be careful when I listen to them because I don't know if it opens up something. It's weird.
Jim
And
opens
one of
up
them is
stuff.
Morrison, but
Yeah.
right next to him, why don't you
Yeah.
guys hear this? What your thoughts are is Serge Tankian from System of the Down.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um,
Hmm.
I will tell you, I'm a big fan of
Hmm.
System too, but again, limited
Very unique.
singer, but unique sound. So
He's very unique.
see
But
again,
that
yeah,
energy, like you're saying, Pharaoh, like
yes,
that, like maybe Jim Morrison wasn't a Robert Plant, like you
Right.
said,
Right.
but there was this thing, and I feel I had to be careful with the Doors because of that. He channels something. He opens up
Yes, he
something in me.
does.
yeah. But
Well,
the other thing too, he was more Morrison to me was a stage man too, good looking guy with he was almost Jimmy Shelly. He was almost a rapper in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? He
I could
Mike,
see that.
spoke his music just like David Lee Roth spoke his music, right?
yeah, but the difference is, and I think Shelley's going to catch this when I say this because she said she's got to be careful when she listens to the Doors. Jim Morrison, and I grew up on the Beatles, and I fell in love with Kiss, and I had heard Dream On, I'd heard all the classics and stuff, but Jim Morrison was the first voice in rock who somehow whispered in my ear. Right, Shelley? Something
This is the
about him.
end, my only friend. The
He goes
end.
to a deep, for some people, Mike, it may sound silly to you, I don't know, but for some reason he opens up, and his whole concept was the doors, opening the doors of perception. This guy could get deep into your own head if you let him, and he knew how to stir that soup. This man was brilliant
Listen,
at that.
just like pro wrestling, music has its time where things change and evolve. And as we get older, we're less receptive to change. Now, I'll be fair to say this music nowadays, I won't listen to it. It's just
It's
fucking awful. I'm
please,
sorry. Shelly, I don't know
yeah,
if you like it. I
no, I
can't
can't,
listen.
I can't
But
do it. Yeah.
I certainly can kind of now again there's some good stuff out there, like you know what I mean. There is some stuff, but you got to really
Here
look
and there.
for it now. That's the issue. All right, guys. Couple things I
All right.
want to cover, Jimmy.
Yeah.
500 level has now improved on the M&P code. Now go to MP30 for 30% off. Jimmy, I got to tell you something, right? I was at the beach again, 500 level. If you guys haven't looked at the shirts, right, go to the website. It's incredible. And I got to be honest, right? So it was a little chilly today. I brought the dogs to the beach. I was off work for the
It was
Jewish
cold
holidays,
today.
right?
It's
It wasn't
cold.
cold,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I have from 500 level, I have a Roman Reigns sweatshirt. Now, usually sweatshirts are not always the nicest fabric, unless I'm into really nice fabric because I just don't like things up against my skin. So
Yeah.
usually I'll get thinner type of shirts, but this is a heavy sweatshirt. The fabric, unbelievable. And you're going to get a deal at 30% off, Jimmy. I mean, my God, it's a no-brainer, guys. I am telling you, once you get one shirt from them, you'll get 50. I guarantee it. And they've got all the sports. Yeah, dude, tell me what you think of it, Jimmy.
They're so comfortable. I got to get a long sleeve now. I'm telling you, I got to, because it was chilly today, especially for a guy who's been in Panama City Beach the last 2 years. It was chilly today, and I love the material. It's so silky. Is that the right word for it? I don't know.
No, absolutely, absolutely, dude.
It's so comfortable. So yeah, I got to get myself some leveled long sleeves. That's for sure. 30%.
And again,
off,
it doesn't. They got plenty of wrestling stuff. They got baseball stuff. They've got football. They got everything, dude. MMA. They got it all, man. And I'm telling you, it's very high quality. Again, 500 level code MP30, 30% off. So if a T-shirt costs you $20, what's 30% off on $20, dude?
It's enough. 10 plus another 20% tacked on top. Not much. It's a steal. It's a steal.
I agree. I want to remind everybody too, the Monte and the Pharaoh show, hit the QR code, be willing to check out our shows on YouTube, where we got almost 24,000 subscribers. Go to our Facebook page where we're approaching 27,000 subscribers. And again, if you feel like donating to the show, please go to the Monte and the Pharaoh webpage, hit donate. Helps us bring in more guests. Trying to entertain Jim. We've got the big event coming up, so a lot of good stuff happening right now.